It is just simply wonderful to be here. I'm a Muhlenberg graduate also. To President Kathleen Herring and your wonderful leadership of a woman, and to the Muhlenberg Board of Trustees, I thank you for the invitation to receive this honorary degree and the opportunity to share my thoughts with you, the class, the amazing class of 2024 of Muhlenberg graduates, family, and friends. I saw you coming walking strong in here today. I'm honored to be here. I'm so pleased that my niece Hannah traveled with me. I hope to honor her with my speech as I honor you. From Seekers Union to Academic Road to the welcoming bright red door colors. In fact, even Great Britain's King Charles decided to go red for his official portrait. I hope you saw that. And Great Britain is quite a buzz. Everyone who walks through these doors is forever changed. As I stand here, I look at your sea of faces and my heart feels reflective. Much will be written about you. You entered here in 2020, the year that a global pandemic literally shut down the world. We all Googled pandemic and coronavirus and COVID-19, and it gave new meaning to the world's isolation, lockdown, and vocabularies like sheltering in place and super spreader and social distancing and essential worker and cancel culture, and of course, you're muted became an everyday lexicon. Masks became essential. Loved ones were lost. And then there was the murder of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor. Black Lives Matter versus Blue Lives Matter, and you entered in the midst of all of this. Canceled proms and high school graduations. You came to a campus that only had you as freshmen. No one to take you by the hand and show you the ropes. Restricted to your room to ensure safety. Your teachers learned how to teach online. You made friends through screens. You ate meals surrounded by plexiglass. You made the most of an unusual beginning, and you successfully built community together. That's why I marvel at you. You are the shining examples of what can be done in the worst of times. When you walk across this stage today, which you're going to do in a few minutes, I want to receive your degree. I want each and every one of you to stand tall because this is the beginning of the rest of your lives. Now, I told you earlier I was reflective because I've never seen times like we are living in now. I came of age during the modern-day civil rights movement when this nation saw assassinations of President John Kennedy and his brother Bobby Kennedy and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Despite the violence, there was also a great deal of hope that things were going to be changing for better in the midst of protests. Our anthem in the Black community was and still is, we should overcome someday. Someday we thought we would overcome, but 60 years later, where are we? An increasingly divided world, not only nationally, but globally, where news, information, fake news comes at us at a dizzying speed, right literally in the palms of our hand. Intense segmentation aided by social media and a digital world. Freedoms guaranteed for women, minorities, and the LGBT community are eroding. Wars raging between Russia and Ukraine, Israel and Hamas, and college campuses literally have been consumed by division. I have no answers for you. Class of 2024, even though the gray in my hair would indicate I should. I do not know how to fix what seems broken, but I do know the answers lie in both individual and collective action, real interaction between people that goes beyond phones, devices, and tweets. Young and old, we're all going to be required to work together towards solutions. Here at Muhlenberg, there are literally shining examples of that. Professor Ben Carter and his students documented Sixpenny Creek and a Black community role in the Underground Railroad. Public health major Christina Dalton worked in Guam on the issues of substance abuse and health disparities. And a recent grad received Fulbright to teach English in Mongolia. Now that is what you call IRL. In real life, isn't that what you call it? With the HistoryMakers, I set out with a grand vision to document the 20th and 21st century African American history through the lives of those who had lived the history they spoke of. That is why I feel honored to share the stage with you, my fellow honoree Tom Graves, whose groundbreaking work documents the legacy of Japanese American war veterans. I had grown up ignorantly thinking that Black people did not have a history to call their own until the discoveries I made in my sophomore year at Brandeis University. I want you to pay attention to that. What I'm doing today began when I was a college student, like you. It has now grown to be the nation's largest African American video oral history archive and unique digital repository, a one-of-a-kind that is now in 211 colleges, universities, public libraries, and museums across the United States. We've raised $36 million and traveled to 451 cities and towns to interview over 3,700 African American leaders across a variety of disciplines. There's Alonzo Petty, the nation's oldest Black cowboy. There's poets Maya Angelou and Nikki Giovanni, Congressman John Lewis, and President Barack Obama when he was Illinois Senator. I remember vividly the early days of the project, going to interview Tuskegee Airmen who asked me that I had heard of the Golden 13. I said, no, Colonel Thompson, I've never heard of the Golden 13. He said, well, there are 4 living in this country, and 1 lives upstairs, and he wants to talk to you also. It was then that I knew that the importance of our project, and it was one of also discovery. It would be a few years later when I was seated next to General Colin Powell, and I shared excitedly that story, and he told me about the Montfort Point Marines. You see, we talk about the Tuskegee Airmen, but the Golden 13, the Montfort Point Marines, all played a role in integrating the U.S. Armed Forces. And that is why I'm thrilled when Tom told me about the 442nd Regiment and Japanese Americans' role in integrating our nation's armed forces. It does not get better than that. We have paved the way for the preservation of others who have lost American stories. I tell you this today in order for you to understand the opportunities that are in front of you. You're digital natives. One of you may create an AI tool that will not only inform but protect a person's right to privacy. Imagine that. Here at Muhlenberg, you could double major in biology and creative writing, or dance and business, or psychology and business. This has given you a competitive advantage and a wonderful education at the same time. Now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't know what you're going to do, but I want you to grab your passions. And I want you to remember that when passion meets purpose and preparation, that life will indeed be your oyster. Today, I gift you, Muhlenberg graduates of 2024, the beginning of the rest of your lives. When I see you, as I see you now, even with my reflective self, I see my past and I see our future. Thank you today for this honor. Go capture your future, and please do it using IRL. Thank you.